interview. I am very excited to be interviewing a wonderful physician, Dr. Constance Okeke. We will be discussing her new upcoming book, the Glaucoma Guidebook, Expert Advice on Maintaining Healthy Vision. And how long is this book as far as like amount of pages or words?
Yeah, the book wasn't intended to be very long. It's about 128 pages. And so there's, like I mentioned, there's a lot of pictures. So when someone picks it up, it's not supposed to be something that looks heavy. It should be something that's light. There's a lot of areas also where there's information that is kind of outlined, so that, again, it doesn't feel like a lot of heavy prose, that people can kind of finger through it, read through it very easily, and in a lot of ways, very conversational. Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned that the book is filling a need for patients and their families that might have questions or seeking advice about glaucoma. And was this because you didn't have anything that you felt that you could really refer them to, or did you feel like there was a lack in glaucoma education resources? Or I guess, how did this kind of light bulb come off in your head and say, you know what, this is something that I really think would benefit the population?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that when you actually look to see what's available for glaucoma education, there's not really a lot. There's only over 3 million people in the United States that have glaucoma, and there's a large population that don't even know that they have it yet, and so a lot of people also at risk. And so it really does. We really need a wider range of options for patients to be educated, and there's different styles that people might be interested in terms of when they come to a book. And I kind of felt what I was seeing was, again, material that was a little bit more dense. And I know a lot of my patient population, they are looking for something that is really tangible and easy to read. And I actually did a little bit of market research with the book, because with actual patients, to get a sense of what it is that they're looking for. And they, when you say glaucoma, patients sometimes feel intimidated by some of the language that you might be using. If it's a little bit too, a lot of medical terminology, they may be feeling like it's not for me. It's not really meant for me. But the book is supposed to be quite inviting. I start off the book writing a letter to the patient, letting them know you're in the right place. You might be learning some terms here, but it's to educate you and empower you. We try to simplify things so that you can have a baseline understanding, so that you can have conversations with your doctor. So you won't be afraid to ask them questions, because you're empowered with some of this basic knowledge. And sometimes, when you're in a room and someone says, okay, does anyone have any questions? If things have been over their head, they may not ask questions, not because they're understanding everything, but because they don't even know where to begin to ask a question. So this really empowers the patient to be able to say, okay, I have this good found knowledge, and hey, I also know how to take care of myself too, because sometimes there are things that I should be asking, or I should be, wanting to know about, or collecting information, so that I can, keep up with my eyes. And this is supposed to help them to be able to do that.
Well, and I think this is something that's really important as far as something that's available to patients, because there's so much on the internet or social media or things that they might hear from their friends or family that just simply aren't true, but there's really no way for them to kind of verify or validate the information that they're being given. But if they have some sort of a book that is really written by a outstanding physician like yourself, a specialist in glaucoma, I think that gives not only patients, but doctors who are maybe recommending this book to their patients just a large sense of, wow, this is something that we can trust. This is something that that people can find, like you said, very tangible and easy to understand. And the information in there, a lot of people are going to understand this is definitely coming from someone who is an expert in this subject.